Hello, I'm Harrison Keeley. Here's a quick look at today's top stories. First of all, 2 fatalities over the weekend are now bringing increased scrutiny to the Ocoee River. Some people on the river say TVA was letting too much water through at the time, causing unsafe conditions. Others are casting blame on this, a 2009 landslide that shifted the riverbank nearly 15 feet and made the Grumpy's Rapid harder to negotiate. While many are calling the deaths a freak accident, others aren't so sure. Rafts aren't allowed on the river when water flow hits 3,000 cubic feet per second, a mark that some raft guides claim the river hit over the weekend. Still, TVA reports that levels only reached 2,600 CFS, a water level confirmed by 3 different devices. And after a water level demonstration by TVA, the president of Ocoee River Outfitters says he's convinced the river was within the legal limits during the accidents. But other guides say outfitters are hesitant to criticize TVA, which has the power to cut off all commercial rafting on the Ocoee, a $43 million industry. The murder trial of Tasha Bates continues today. The 27-year-old mom is on trial in the deaths of her 2 sons, 3-year-old River and 5-year-old Leland. Bates is facing felony murder, aggravated child abuse, and meth charges. The boys were left inside her Toyota Corolla in temperatures of more than 129 degrees. The day was so hot, in fact, that it hit the record books. And now the case is beginning. Prosecutor Stephen Hatchett says Bates changed her stories about the day and that she had meth in her system at the time. Her attorney, Richard Hughes, says the mom loved her children, and while evidence shows irresponsibility and poor decisions, it wasn't murder. The 16-member jury is made up of 5 women and 11 men. The trial resumes today. We'll have live updates at timesfreepress.com. Officers have foiled an escape attempt at the Hamilton County Jail. Deputies say Kenneth Burnham claimed to be another inmate who was set to be released. He signed the papers and was moved out of his cell. How did they catch him? Well, the inmate to be released was a black man. Burnham? Not so much. He was charged with criminal impersonation and attempted escape. A Chattanooga truck dealer is moving from the inner city to a site off Interstate 75 as it builds a new $5 million facility. MHC Kenworth plans to double its footprint and increase its workforce by 30 employees. The new dealership is expected to be finished by next summer. A new study says Chattanooga drivers have 11% fewer crashes than the national average. The typical Chattanooga driver has an accident once every 11 years. Nationwide, the average is 1 every 10 years. Chattanooga ranks as the 31st best city for driving in the country and the 2nd safest in Tennessee. Knoxville ranked 12th on the list. A local ranger helping to clean up after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans found something special in all of the carnage. Rob Turin, a ranger at Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park, found a note tucked inside a bottle. It was written by a 14-year-old girl who was trapped in her attic while the city went underwater. In the note, the girl described the devastation around her, and she wrote down her prayers for her family and friends. The ranger who found the note says he held on to it for daily inspiration, for positive thinking to survive a storm. Turin has spent years wondering what happened to the girl and her family, if she had survived the storm. And now, 8 years later, he's found her. Angela Caballeros is a college student now. Turin had the message framed and returned to her. She didn't remember most of what was in the letter, but he did. He had it memorized. Finally, today marks the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. The famous speech made mention of Chattanooga's Lookout Mountain, where a bell-ringing ceremony is being held today to commemorate the anniversary. The free program is set for 2:30 this afternoon at Point Park. Local students are scheduled to read portions of King's speech, followed by a bell ringing at 3 p.m. Turning to weather, today will be mostly sunny with a high near 92 degrees. The low tonight will be around 70. That's our newscast for today. Thanks for being with us. You can find more on these stories and breaking news all day long at timesfreepress.com.